Good afternoon. This is your PSHE lesson 1. It's about managing risk, particularly with medicines. Your LC is, can I understand how the correct use of medicines can help to maintain health and well-being? In this lesson, you'll be able to describe how correct use of medicines can support health and well-being, explain the safe use of medicines to help manage illness and allergies, and identify where to find further advice about the correct use of medicines. Have a think to start with. Jot down, you could do it as a bubble, or you could write it as a list. What do you think you can do to manage illness, to manage allergies, and to manage infectious diseases? Did you have any ideas? Well, certainly in the last one, infectious diseases, that could be dealt with through medication. It could also be helped with vaccines, and we talked about that in our most recent science lessons about how vaccines help people when we learned about microorganisms, for example. Illness, we've all been unwell. What medicines did you take? Allergies, you may not have allergies, but you may know somebody who does. How are they managed and helped? Medicine use. The use of medicine depends on the type of disease or illness that a person has. Medicines can prevent someone from becoming ill or stop a disease from spreading. They can help someone feel better and relieve pain, such as from a headache. They can help someone manage an ongoing health condition, so something that they have and it will be something that they have to live with and deal with, such as asthma or diabetes. And medicines can also help the body recover from illness. At some point or another, we have all been in one of those situations, particularly the bottom right, helping the body to recover from illness. We've all been unwell, and we've all had pain of some sort. In your packs, I would like you to read the case studies. They describe different medications that can be taken. Have a think about each one. What is the medicine? Why is it used? How is it used? And think, is it used for every day? Sometimes, for emergencies, or both? And if it is both, could you explain how? Could you jot down an answer for each one of these medicines in your book under a subheading of the medicine itself, whether it's an inhaler or the other examples in your pack? Give yourself some time to answer those. Make sure you read the case studies carefully. You may underline any parts that are important for answering these questions. Pause the video for as long as you need to. So medicines are helpful for health, but only if used, stored, and disposed of correctly. So if used, taken correctly at the right dose, that's really important. Stored properly, that means kept in the safest possible way. And disposed of correctly. So, for example, when a medication is no longer used, in many cases, it's best to take it back to the pharmacy and then they will dispose of it correctly. They can't use it again, but they can dispose of it. Only trusted adults should give medicine to children. And if you're ever unsure about using a medicine, a trusted adult should always be able to help with that. And I know some of you take medication independently now, quite independently. For example, if you have an inhaler and you know what dose to take when you need to take it. But if you're ever unsure about anything at all, then you always ask an adult. Further information and support about the health conditions in our lesson can be found through the following organisations: the National Eczema Society, Asthma UK, Diabetes UK, or Allergy UK. These are all things that can be searched for online and found very easily if you wanted to find out anything else about these conditions. Or if they affect you in some way, you can find out more through those websites. Now that you've read the case studies, I'd like you to go back to your thinking bubbles from the start. Maybe you could use a different colour pen or pencil, if you do have one, to add or change your ideas. If you don't have a different colour pen or pencil, you might just jot down what I know now or what I've learned just through reading the case studies. Now, lastly, this is important because there may be an emergency situation where you may need to help somebody as you get older. I'd like you to choose one medicine from the lesson that might be used in an emergency. The inhaler or the EpiPen are perfect for this. Write down the steps for their safe use in an emergency. You should find the answer to these in the case study. What would be the steps for taking and using that medication properly? Because you never know, it could help somebody in an emergency. In our next lesson, we will go on to talk about legal and illegal drugs, following on from our learning in science. Until then, goodbye.